Setting up right now. Hello to anyone that has joined. So anyone tonight that has not at all seen any of my stuff, okay, so I'm going to stop that recording, that buffer. I don't need a buffer. There we go. What? So I guess right now that you guys want to know what's going on here, this is a project that I've been working on for 2.5 months, or a couple, almost most of Christmas, most of this past year, and most of my fall semesters. Since October of this past year, I've been working on this project. It was supposed to be finished up, but I couldn't do it because there's a lot of needed cutting and a lot of needed stuff. And there was a lot of turmoil that I will say right now that is happening. Hello to anyone that's in the viewers, and hello to all my good peeps. I'm right now going to check our stream on my phone, and we're going to be sure that all chat is good. And by the way, I'm testing out something. I don't normally do this, but if anyone hasn't seen this background yet and has not been up to date, we did FFP, the Full Free Press, which is a podcast for, whatever you want to call it. So I got my little OC here. I don't have a transparent background, sadly, for her, but I will maybe. I'll possibly draw her in a vector. So I got some vectors in the progress that I'm doing right now that are coming slowly, but I am right now just trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for the next couple of days. I also already put something. Yeah, I'm just checking something on Twitter. All the Twitters. So, if people want to join on chat and talk about what I'm doing. Also, if there's issues on your end on the buffering, if the stream is buffering, don't blame me when I'm using Streamlabs. The reason why I have this open up at the moment is because right now I'm only under the amount of stuff that's needed for stream. So to really say this entire thing that you guys are seeing right now took so much time on progress. I have spent so many restless hours just trying to get this all out. And even though it should have been released a lot sooner, but there's a bunch of technical work that I had to do. And some friends of mine that were not pressuring me, but asking me to see if they can see this full animation before the end of the year. I want to get it done, but Christmas is coming up, and there's no way for me to do it on time because that's cutting out a bunch of stuff that is called jump cuts or J cuts or any other cutting, which in animation is taking a lot of stuff out of the animation that's already pre-existing and copy and paste it, because a bunch of these animations are copy and pasted on her. This Loon animation was an idea from an old thing I used to be, the into stuff, the macro stuff, and giant ponies and stuff. Since not many people constantly do this kind of stuff on YouTube. This entire animation is mostly safe for work. From my understanding, it is. But there's a bunch of issues that I came into be. So let's turn off these. Now we're going to turn off progressive render. We're going to turn this off. And there's a bunch of issues that I came across with putting this together. There's a bunch of issues with getting it uploaded to YouTube. And there's also a bunch of issues that I'm going to have to go with everything. It's just progressive. Who the heck just did that? Okay, let's see here. Chat. Let me look at chat. And let me do properties. Oh, that's not supposed to do that. Faz Darko. Oh, hello to you, cartoons. To anyone who's joining on, thank you very much. I am right now trying to get to a goal, and a little surprised by the end of the stream, I will be talking about some ideas that will be happening next year. And my next door friend of mine, close friend now, will be making videos soon after Christmas. We have already set a goal for next year. I have already set my goals, which I want to get to a certain amount of views. Also, the appropriate views I want everyone to get my videos is possibility a couple of 20 per one, or 100 at most, or 50, because the percentage of people that watch me before I get into any of my animation topic, I'm going to go over the subscriber thing so we can get this over with, because normally on stream I sometimes do this, the like, subscribe, favorite and stuff, and all what YouTube likes. And yes, to anyone who wants to hear the worst part about how this works, analytics, let's see here, we're gonna do a little go ahead of so and try to get this over with. And I haven't done a whole lot of uploads, regular uploads, because reasons. Audience. Okay, I'm doing this thing real quick. Only let's see how many people. Only 60% of you people have subscribed, and only 39.6 have not subscribed to the channel. And I am kind of a little bit wanting you guys to subscribe, because the biggest event that I want us to get to is 250 to 500 subs, so we can open the community tab. That is kind of we got about 8 more to go. 8 more to go. And the current goal up here is to 250, because I did a little research in some of my own analytics. The next big thing is on January the 16th or February the 16th before I go to HarmonyCon. And a little bit of announcement before I tell you about what's going to happen. Well, I was thinking about it. I possibility will shift content a little bit over to vlogs maybe again after almost 2 years of hiatus on that, because I haven't been able to upload. I also have content on other platforms that I'm trying to experiment with. I possibly will have a channel dedicated to my SFM animations. I also would try my best to figure out a way to show you previews of animations on this channel. And the live stream is supposed to be interactive. So if people want to come on and experience the process of how much time it takes to do this animation stuff, I'll be happily to show you for what I do. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't want any of you people to miss. I really don't want you guys to miss anything from my channel. That's the reason why I told many people, even though I don't beg for subs, I don't beg for views, but I'm just saying, if you want this channel to grow and you want content, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not doing drama content in for a while. If there's something you guys want about drama, keep it to a minimal, because this channel is not dedicated to that. I used to do that content, and that content has shifted. That content has flew by and came. That content is not coming back to this channel. To anyone who wants to know why I'm saying that, is because the amount of stress that I had to go through to stop myself from being in drama. There was a bunch of stuff that happened, I would say mostly in private, that I do not want to say it loud, but I might keep it to a minimal. So to keep a little bit of a look at what I mean by we're going to keep it to a certain extent, is because from my understanding, the amount of time I have taken myself to do all this stuff, to make animations, I want to have fun content. I really wish I can make fun content for you guys. I really want that to happen on this channel. And it's sad to see that people want to come into my in my videos and just dislike them because you don't like me. Now, I don't like the idea of people disliking me for no apparent reason. Like, if you don't like me, that's your own personal bias. But I'm just going to say right now, if you don't like me, that's okay. I'm not going to bark at you for it. But I will question your ways of not liking. So, because I have told many people this. If you don't like someone, don't say it in their face. You don't gossip about it. I've seen plenty of people who have done that a long time ago on YouTube. And it's not a fun thing to experience. It's not really a fun thing to do. It's not a fun thing to show that you at all, care and stuff. Like, I care in some, I like, that old meme from the drama community of some sort. I don't know how long it's been since I have looked into, it's my brand kind of ordeal. Well, in a lot of ways, ASP Production Live has been a brand name since 2016 or 2017. I didn't start getting people to know me, and the reason why a lot of people know me is from HarmonyCon, and a lot of people don't know me besides that. They don't really know me besides any other platform than that. They don't say that they found me on other platforms, and I have other places I have been on since before. And there was a bunch of stuff that I tried out on YouTube. I tried out almost every content you can get your interest in. I tried animation content for a short time, but I don't think that it can work without sacrificing the quality that's needed. Because the quality of my content has shifted so many times that it's kind of hard for me to really say that I want it to be good. That's the issue that I've been having lately, is that I don't know what content you guys want. And I think it's good for you guys to at least understand from my point of view about what kind of stuff it's coming to be. my goals have completely shifted because I've already done my at-home goals and I've already done a lot of personal goals myself, and I don't really know what else I can really say upon that. But if you want content that is your liking, please ask me. But don't ask me about a lot of Coomer content because I don't do Zoomer or Coomer content for you under 18. I have told many people this. I'm going to tell you guys again. Do not suggest content that is what is Coomer related. It has to be related to animation or relevancy. Because there's been a bunch of content that I've been looking at online and trying to figure out what is my content being suggested under. There was a tag on one of my little finders on VTube or some sort of VQ YouTube, or was some sort of program I use for YouTube as a small content creator. I used to do a lot of posting a variety of content back in the day, and I started from nothing. Like, every content creator starts from somewhere. I started from purely zero, and I started uploading vlogs and streams and church stuff, and that content got pretty bland. I can't really upload that content because I feel like it wouldn't be a good idea for me to post vlogs so soon in the year without me getting content that is relevant to you people. Hey, RTI. I am right now doing something for stream. And I'm going to say this right now. I have tried my best at trying to get content that is relevant to you. I have looked through all my ideas that I've already done. There is possibility a Gen 5 analyst, some sort of review, since I got the movie on demand from someone. I'm not going to tell you who. Someone gave me a link to it, and now I have it on my backup drives. Let's see here. And from my point of view, I think the animation I've been showing you guys has been fascinating. And the person in chat MLF2 is RTI, and he was one of my other friends that have let me made their character into an animation, which sadly I've been trying to figure out how on earth to execute it. There's a thing animation that I love to put up there, is that there's execution, there's how you're going to present it, there's also how on earth it's going to work. Like, I have tried all that. It's not hard to look at me and say that my content's pretty bland, and I'm not putting a lot of personality into it, okay? The reason why I don't ever do personalities because it disconnects me from my own self. It makes me feel like I need to disconnect from what I'm trying to present, and I have to be in character all the time. I've been trying my best to avoid being in character and try to avoid trying to be in character, because if I try to do that on stream, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I've seen people who have done it. It's not pretty. Personalities are a thing to YouTube, and YouTube itself has so many personalities, and I like being the serious here. I'm not being the goofy type, and I understand that people want entertainment. I understand that pretty off the bat that entertainment is an important factor for animation. I try my best at it. I try thinking out of the box without trying to go so far. And this animation is supposed to be Rampage related. And there's a bunch of stuff that's in between this 3 animation. The reason why I cut it down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds or 3 minutes and 30 seconds is because after 2 minutes it starts to deteriorate, because once I go into my bar graph. This is my bar graph for animation to show me how much I can move. And I try my best to be sure that SFM works. And if SFM does not work, it will be a disaster. And SFM is such a pain that I don't want to switch over to Blender. There's a little grudge I have against using Blender. I appreciate people using Blender, but I do not want to use those skills that I use in SFM for keyframing. I use Blender for only looking at models from Blender itself and see if I feel like, nah, I'm not going to do this, because there's no reason for me to just move to Blender just because you got people ask for it or they demand entertainment that is originality. So originality in SFM is pretty questionable, since I have seen so many people that have tried and tried with SFM. It's not a ha-ha laughing joke. It's more like just stale. There's people out there by the name Specky. They do content that is meme related, so you just expect memes from them. From me, you expect stuff that's out of the ordinary. The person that I am not trying to be, which is Diz, Strange Desires is the one that inspired me to go back in animation 6 years ago. And I started trying to get into animation in 2018. I spent from 2018 to 2019 to 2020 and spent almost 3 years just relearning SFM. And I've spent so much time in reviewing my animations. I know there's just a bunch of stuff that happens in SFM that takes a lot of your time. And I have experimented with a ton of projects. Fun fact, RTI, when the first time I did the experiment animation that was based off a Changeling Lab video, a friend of mine, like I said, Diz, I've been trying to recreate that. But the hard part is that there's a bunch of mechanics and technical aspects to SFM that takes hours and hours and hours. And upon hours, upon hours, and upon hours, you get it. It's a never-ending story of you have to get it done before the end of the year. You know, the thing is, if you were to do SFM in a week and only did one animation per month, that would be difficult for me, since 1 minute would be like a whole month worth of just animating, because the quality of the animation has to be high profile, because people expect high quality animation. I suspect perfection on my animations. I suspect whips, progress, lighting, sound, and there's a bunch of sound design that goes into SFM for me, since I have standards for what animation should be in SFM, and I have standards to what people want to enjoy. My content that you guys want has to be from the Miss Harshwinny animation, which I'm going to try to recreate that later in the future. But as of now, there's no way for me to do that. There's only one way to do that, which is try to figure out a way to get that file back. I went through all my files. There's no record of it when my computer died in 2020, back in March. So as of now, most of the content that was previously from 2017 and 18 and 2020 were completely demolished, because there was no way for me to get it back. And I wonder if it's this person. It's from Russian. Yeah, fun. Like, the sad thing is, animation is not fun. There is some fun to animation. Argo Damien does it. I don't. There's just a lot of standards involved with that. For me, I think of perfection over content. that is everyone's liking. So, whenever someone wants animation from me, first things first, you got to give me a bunch of notes, references, and also what do you really want? What it's like, what fetishes do you really care for? And what kinks that are allowed on YouTube that can be safe for work without crossing the border. I have done this on YouTube. I have seen people who have already crossed the border of YouTube's guidelines. Borderline. And it's painful to try to do that. And the most painful thing about animating bigger characters is that they will break. SFM will tremendously break if you have characters too big, too small, or anything. It's like going back to the very beginning of the animation. There is a bunch of stuff that you guys don't know what's going on. Every part of this animation was copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Copy pasting is a pain also because, funny enough, I have to like copy the same character, delete the animation, and completely start again. And again, and again, and again. It's a non-stop process of cutting shortcuts. There are shortcuts in animation, there are shortcuts in films, there are shortcuts in everything about story. Already, this story is already begun. This story right here that you guys have already seen is going to be possibility a bit more. So here's what I'm going to do. Since I really want to show you how it feels to take an entire turn point with SFM. So let's go all the way to the very beginning, or the very end. So the very end of this is around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This film clip is cut off. So we're going to do possibility 30 seconds. This is empty. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to rename this. This animation is going to be split. So, blade. This animation segment will go all the way back to the very beginning. And we're going to start from where it started. And I'm going to try my best at what I can do with this animation. Because I think you guys deserve something in return. There's a bunch of stuff that is okay. Like right now, I'm going to do something real quick, and I'm going to switch over from one VC to the other. Let me look at my dashboard and I can tell you right now what's going on. Everything's doing good. Okay, let me be sure. Let me just be very sure that I can blade this. And right now,